You may have heard about Web3, but what exactly is it? In this episode, we'll be exploring the evolution of the internet, its new features, and the technologies that bring them to life. To better understand what Web3 is, we need to refresh ourselves on where the internet began, so let's take a trip down memory lane. The year is 1990. Tupac is alive and the Cold War has ended, and this little invention called the World Wide Web was about to be born. That's right, we're talking about Web 1, the brainchild of computer scientist Tim Berners-Lee. Web 1 was known as a content delivery network. Back then, the internet service providers were the big bosses. They kept the web in a read-only mode, which meant that you can look at stuff, but there is no touching or rearranging. Imagine your local little free libraries, but you can only read what they provide, and you can't add your own books. It's kind of weird, right? So Web 1 was mainly about consuming information, not creating or remixing it. But Web 1 laid down three fundamental pieces of tech that shaped the internet as we know it. The first is hypertext markup language, also known HTML. It's our web's wizard language for creating cool web pages. The second was Uniform Resource Locator, also known as URLs. Every website has a unique home address, and no two are alike. And third, Hypertext Transfer Protocol, also known HTTP, which is the secret sauce that lets us jump from one web treasure to another. Back in the day, we had just a few digital wizards creating content, while the rest of us were happy internet explorers wandering through this new digital land. But by the end of the 90s, over 248 million people were online. But there is still a lot of work to be done to get the internet adopted to the masses. In 1999, Darcy DiNucci coined the term Web 2 in an article titled Fragmented Future. She glimpsed the early sparks of this new web phase, a world beyond static images, buzzing with interaction and collaboration. Web 2 wasn't a tech upgrade, as much as it was a paradigm shift in how the internet was used. Known as the read-write web, the internet went from being like a library where you just read books to a magical creative workshop where you can create your own stories and share them with billions in an instant. In a lot of ways, Web 2 leveled the playing field. Everyone got a voice, a chance to share their story, build networks, and access the latest updates at lightning speed. But as we were busy tweeting and liking, the tech giants were growing bigger and, let's say, a bit nosy. Tech giants like Google and Meta have pretty much total control over our online data and have established themselves as the central authority over Web 2. This makes a lot of people feel uneasy and has even led to legal questioning from our governments. This uneasiness and centralized nature of our data in Web 2 has led for a push of a more decentralized and secure web. And yes, those are exactly the principles and tenets of Web 3. 40 years ago, Tim Berners-Lee, the creator of Web 1, dreamed of something more. He coined the term Web 3 and envisioned an era where the internet wasn't just about websites and emails. He envisioned a semantic web where computers can understand data like humans, which would allow them to not only be a tool for their human users, but also allow them to act as participants or users in their own right. Web 3 marks the internet's evolution into a phase focused on decentralized networks and increased user control over data. It harnesses blockchain, AI, and the semantic web to create a smarter and more connected online ecosystem. While there's no single central definition of Web 3, it's generally understood through several key characteristics that set it apart from previous iterations. These characteristics include decentralization, the semantic web, trustless and permissionless, enhanced security and privacy, interoperability, artificial intelligence, and 3D graphics. The term Web 3 is not synonymous with the term blockchain. We'll do a deeper dive into blockchain technology in upcoming videos, but for now I want you to understand that the term Web 3 encompasses a broader spectrum of innovations and principles. Now that we've cleared that up, let's get back to the defining characteristics of Web 3 and see how they contrast with previous iterations of the web. Web 3 is all about decentralization. This means that instead of having a single point of control, like a server at a company, the network is spread across a wide array of nodes worldwide, each participating equally. A classic example of decentralization is the Bitcoin blockchain. Here, transactions are recorded, and they're not managed by a central authority like a bank, but instead are distributed across thousands of computers worldwide. The semantic web. The semantic web represents a transformative layer of Web3, designed to enable computers to process and interpret data with a level of understanding comparable to human cognition. This evolution in web technology allows machines not just to serve as passive tools, but to become active participants within the digital landscape. In essence, the semantic web equips computers with the capability to comprehend, reason, and make decisions based on the vast amounts of data available online. In this new era, systems are trustless, meaning you don't need to trust a central authority, and permissionless, so anyone can participate without authorization from a governing body. Ethereum allows developers to build decentralized applications, also known as dApps, on the Ethereum blockchain. Any developer can build on top of the blockchain without permission. Contrast this with Web2, where companies like Apple have specific requirements that developers must meet in order to get their apps approved. Enhanced security and privacy. Blockchain-based identity systems allow users to control their personal data, unlike Web2 systems where companies like Google manage user information on their own localized servers. Interoperability, aka connectivity. This is all about different systems and applications being able to work together seamlessly. Cross-chain decentralized finance platforms, such as Polkadot, enable transactions from different blockchains, something unheard of in the Web2 era. Think Apple versus Android. That being said, at this point, some blockchains don't interoperate well together, something developers are continually working on to bring the full dream of interoperability within the Web3 space to life. Artificial intelligence and machine learning. AI and machine learning play a huge role in making the web more intelligent and tailored to individual users. They are powering smarter and more personalized experiences based on user data. Imagine logging into a streaming service, and it not only recommends movies based on your past views, but it also considers your current mood, derived from your recent online activity. It's kind of creepy, but kind of cool, right? The semantic web uses AI to understand and interpret your preferences and behaviors, tailoring content specifically for you. Contrast this with Web 2, which uses basic algorithms for recommendations and lacks the sophistication of AI and machine learning. 3D graphics. The integration of 3D graphics in Web3 heralds a new era of immersive digital experiences, as seen in virtual reality and augmented reality. Virtual environments like those in the game Decentraland offer users an experience where they can explore, interact, and transact in a 3D world. And there you have it, a journey through the evolution of the internet, from the static pages of Web 1 to the dynamic interactivity of Web 2, and now to the brink of a new digital frontier with Web 3. In this upcoming era, we're not just users of the web, we're integral parts of its very fabric. Web 3 isn't just a technological upgrade, it's a radical reimagining of how we interact in the digital world. We're stepping into a future where our digital lives are more secure, our online interactions are more intuitive, and our contributions to the web are more impactful. From the decentralized nature of the blockchain to the smart, interconnected experiences powered by AI and machine learning, Web3 is set to redefine our online experiences. The decentralized, trustless nature of Web3 empowers us as individuals, but it also challenges us to be more aware, more engaged, and more proactive in shaping the digital world that we inhabit. So as we stand on the cusp of this new digital dawn, let's be ready to explore, learn, and grow together. The future of the internet is not something that will happen to us, it's something we will actively create. Welcome to Web3, and remember, the future is in our hands.